This is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
Welcome to Discoveries in Health. Every Thursday from 3 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, or here Central Time, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And we are, this is a discussion, and we have this discussion every Thursday. And it's for 2 hours. Normally, we have a naturopathic doctor that joins us from Georgetown, Texas, but he's away right now, and he's in our prayers. That's Doc Miles, and he's away, and we'll find out what's going on when he gets back. And until then, I'm here just answering your questions as I've done now for 56 years. Over radio, over television, over cable, over the internet, and here we are doing the same broadcast for 56 years, and it's called Discoveries in Health. So Discoveries in Health is a discussion, and if you'd like to interrupt me at any one time, it's okay to do that, because this is a discussion. And if you want to suggest a topic or ask a question, then all you have to do is press your star key on your telephone 2 times and ask your question or make your comment or give us your testimony. I've been getting a lot of testimonies lately. Daniel Barrett called in. He said his mom, who had a head tumor, the pressure's going down, and mom is happy, and he's going to go get some more herbs to keep up doing what he's doing. So we keep getting these people that are calling us back and letting us know that what we're doing is working, that they don't have that their arthritic pain is diminishing. That they're feeling better, they have more energy, that their cancers and their tumors are gone, that their diabetes has cleared up in 3 to 6 weeks and it can't be found anymore. These are the kinds of testimonies that I hear on a daily basis, and which that's why it keeps me doing this ministry, and that's what this is. It's a Christian ministry, and I serve Jesus Christ, and I encourage other people to do the same, and to keep the faith, and to continue to work on your natural remedies, work on your health, so that as you get older and older, you just get better and better. And that's the way that it should be. We just want to encourage you to continue on the road to finding out exactly what remedies work for you, what diets work for you, and then share the information. And I'm seeing people do more of that. And recently, what really warmed my heart was seeing people come out from nowhere and say, I know this person I got a little extra money right now, and so I'm going to help this person who has cancer and has no hope and everything. So we put them on these programs. And someone is paying and sponsoring these people who can't afford to help themselves. Now that is the man, that's where I've been heading with this thing since day one, is getting people who have the resources to help people who don't. Helping someone survive diabetes and cancer and heart disease and clogged arteries and lupus and you name it. So if you do have a little extra that you want to give to a charity, sponsor one of these people. It can be a relative, can be a friend. If you don't know somebody, let me know, because I know a lot of people who come to me, and and I'm always asking for a donation so that I can keep going. But when I run into these people who don't have anything, then I let them know I will help them anyway. I'm not going to charge them anything. I'm not going to ask them for a donation because they don't have it. And I'm not going to neglect them either. And that's what this ministry does. And I do a lot of it. I've done so much of it that I need donations from those who can donate so that I can help those who can't. So I can continue to do that. Because there are many times I did it when I couldn't afford it, and I did it anyway. You know how it goes. You can't say no. So we're trying to avoid that kind of a scenario. Anyway, if you can donate, it's up on herbalhealthreview.com. Up on herbalhealthreview.com. And when you're on herbalhealthreview.com, if you click on common conditions, over off to the right, there's a donate button. Donate whatever you can afford, and don't go beyond that. But if you can, and whatever, and however, even if it's a few dollars, it will help me to pay all the bills it takes to do this ministry and create videos. And we've got over 300 videos up on YouTube. We have over 150 videos over here on the Discoveries in Health tab. So when you go over to herbalhealthreview.com and you go to the Discoveries in Health tab, and you're looking at all the ways to join the broadcast, and you get down to down to the bottom, and there we are. And there's 153 videos, and there's actually about another 25 that need to be added because we got behind. But there's 153 videos with screen capture teaching. It's me teaching these reports that took me 56 years of grooming and creating 14,000 natural remedies and helping people over the years. And these are the remedies, and there's the videos of how to do it. And it's all free. There is not one thing that you can buy on herbalhealthreview.com website. That website, everything is free. Over about 200 reports. Reports on cancer, reports on fibroid tumors, reports on everything. And each report, let's go to fibroid tumors and take a look at one of those reports. Okay, we're on our way. Oh, by the way, so when you're over on that on that website, click on the donate button. We need to keep doing what we're doing here, and we need your help to do it. Please, thank you. So now we're going back to the herbalhealthreview.com. We're going out of the Discoveries in Health tab, because we've seen all the ways to join the broadcast over your telephone, over your computer, over your smartphone, over Google Hangout, everywhere. And then 153 videos, and then 300 more videos on YouTube. That's a massive amount of work. Anyway, all those videos, all that, it's all free. So take advantage of it. There's a lot of work to create it, and you need to know about it so that you can take advantage of it. So now we are going over here to Common Conditions and clicking on the Common Conditions tab. And we're going over and we're talking about something we've talked about before, because we have people who have called us back and said, I don't have fibroid tumors anymore. Thank you. So there have, people that are getting helped with this report. It's under A, B, C, D, E, F. There it is. A, B, C, D, F. Hey, come on. Fibroids. That's right. It's under fibroids. So I'm clicking on fibroids. First, I went to herbalhealthreview.com. Then I went over to Common Conditions. Then I went down A, B, C, D till I got to fibroids. Now it's describing it. And off to the right is that donate button. Don't forget that donate button. And here's the report, and it's talking about it, and it describes it. And this report is something that you can do. You can, if you don't even have a computer, you can go to the library. Or you can find a friend who has one, has a computer, and get them to bring up that report and look at it with you. But fibroids, it's a tumor, it is a swelling. A tumor is a swelling or an abnormal growth of tissues having no useful function in the body. Tumors may either be benign or malignant. Benign tumors are isolated growths that can occur anywhere in the body. They generally do not spread to other parts of the body, and they usually do not return after being surgically removed, although I have had many people come to me who have had them surgically removed and said now it came back. So, although benign tumors are generally limited in growth, they usually should be removed, or using this procedure to remove it is the best method rather than surgically. But they need to be removed, and the best option is to remove them through the method that I'm describing now. So, and again, if you did have them surgically removed, they come back. If you use this method, no one has ever told me they came back. And people usually tell you if something comes back. If it, and they're happy when it goes away. But the surgically ones, the surgically removed ones, they usually should be removed, and a small percentage of these benign tumors later become malignant fibroids. Fibroids are benign tumors that most often occur in the uterus. Hundreds of thousands of hysterectomies are performed every year due to the presence of fibroid tumors in the uterus. And those are needless surgeries, but either they don't know any better or they don't care. I don't know. Probably a little bit of both. Who knows? But anyway, these, unlike tumors, malignant tumors are cancerous, and they must be treated as early as possible. They tend to spread to other parts of the body. You start with them there, then you got them all over the place. And I've had to deal with that. But there are methods to deal with it. It's called breast and all cancer, which is another report. If we have a malignant tumor, we're going to employ that as well as do this. What's in this report, we're also, if we see, and it's a good idea to do some blood cleansing anyway. You know, that's going to starve the tumor when you clean the blood. And this is what we know how to do. So you're going to need some products, some natural supplements. One of the things that is used is this particular system, and there's someone here reporting that they used this method, and in the size of 2.3 centimeters, had consulted the physician and also postponed the surgery. And they're saying that with your devoted counseling, excuse me, wow, I don't usually sneeze on air, so that's unusual. Anyway, must have been something in the air. I have the screen door open and a fan coming at me because it's about 86 degrees right here. But anyway, we're talking about a lady that had a fibroid tumor, and with the counseling and guidance, was able to fully cure the fibroid from my uterus, is what she is leaving a testimony here. But then, there's a cancer protocol, and there's a link to it right here. And anything in blue in this report, if you click on it, it takes you out of this report and it takes you over to another report, because this is deep. These reports are very deep, and they include links to supplements, to products, to other reports, and it has a link here to a cancer report. And that cancer report really nails it down, what causes cancer and how to get rid of it. And it works. And it generally works in about 2 weeks, sometimes 72 hours. But it depends on the condition of the person and the type and all kinds of factors, whether it's going to be 72 hours or 72 days. But normally, 72 hours, maybe 2 to 3 weeks max. Usually. But, so I always look at it in at least 3 to 6 weeks. We're going to see some profound effects within that period of time, which is always very encouraging when someone has these problems and they start seeing right from the beginning. They start feeling better, and the pain and the suffering is starting to be alleviated almost immediately within hours or days. So this is something that works right away, and you start seeing it right away. But the thing about what they're talking about here is that there's all kind of information that we need to use, and this information, environmental factors and diet, plays an important role in the development of tumors. And some tumors have decreased in size, and others have actually disappeared. Like Tyrone Porter's tumor, the cancer on his one kidney, gone in 15 days. He had one kidney, it was bleeding, and it had a cancerous tumor on it. And he called me up, and in 5 days he called me back and said it's not bleeding anymore. And in 15 days he called me back and he said his endocrinologist can't find the tumor anymore, and that one kidney is back to 100% health. So I made a friend that day. Tyrone Porter is still going all over Mississippi, telling everybody about the fact that he don't have a cancerous tumor on his one kidney, and it's not bleeding anymore, and he's happy and has no pain and suffering, and he's back to work as a bricklayer. So, and this is going on about month 3 or month 4 now, that he's well. But anyway, it's all the things that you do. You can't just take some magic herbs that are going to kill the cancer, and then that's the end of it. No, we've got to make a lifestyle change, and that's one of the very first reports in a cancer protocol, is making lifestyle changes, taking things that increase your immune system and help your digestion, work on your liver, work on your kidneys, and any other areas of the body. If we know that you've got a weak bowel, we're going to work on the bowel. If we know you got a weak heart, we're going to work on the heart, lungs, if whatever's going on. You gotta deal with it. You can't just say, we'll deal with it later, we're just going to do this now, because that doesn't work very well. If you got 4 flat tires, if you're just going to fix one of them, you're going to limp around town on 3 flat tires until you figure out that you got to fix all 4. And that's the way it has to go. The other thing that's very interesting about what I do is that I help a lot of people who are sick, who don't have any money. They don't even have the money to get the supplements that are needed to repair the liver, the kidneys, the bowel, the heart, the digestion. Do you see what I'm talking about? If that was what was wrong with your car, you'd be up to about $7,000 of paying a mechanic to fix it, if that was how many things were wrong with your car. But if we're talking about the body, so when you got that many things wrong with your body, the good news is it isn't $7,000, but it's about $700 or $800 worth of supplements. It's a lifestyle change. It's coming to the realization that the doctors are killing you and natural remedies are going to save your life. And when you figure that out, then that $700, you're saying, well, wow, hey, I bought a new set of tires and it cost me $700. I guess I could afford to save up enough money somehow to get rid of diabetes and cancer. But people can't afford it. I get so many people that they're out of work and they can't afford that. And that's why that I'm always praying for someone who has, maybe they have a little bit of wealth and they can sponsor somebody who would die, who would suffer to death and die from neglect, from people who don't realize that there are these people who are praying for help, hoping for help, and suffering to death because they can't even afford a few remedies. That breaks my heart, and that's that's really number one up on my prayer list for someone, whoever they are, sponsor somebody, whether they're a relative, a friend, or somebody you don't even know, and you're going to help them and you're going to save their life. And that touches my heart big time. So anyway, so there's all these things you need to do to make it right. Now, yes, you could start out slowly, but that then you're kind of tempting. You're tempting the problem. Can I just do a few things and will you go away? Maybe, and maybe not. Maybe it'll just get bigger, affect another area, or turn cancerous. So really, as as much as possible, go in and deal with what has to happen, what you need. Fix all the leaky pipes at once instead of waiting for one of them to break later or spring a leak or something. So that's how I go about this. And so often I'm asked, oh, I can't afford $300. Can you do it for $100? And it isn't even me. Because I don't get anything from the sale of any of the 14,000 natural remedies that I invented and then gave away, because the Most High said, you're being attacked by the federal government, and if you didn't have anything, they don't have any reason to attack you. So I quit manufacturing. I gave it all to my daughter. I gave her all the recipes. I gave everything to her, and she gave me a bill of sale, and she gave me an affidavit that stated that I got nothing from the sale of any products. And that was it. And that was, wow, that was a long time ago. So I won my case against the FDA because they kept attacking me as though I owned all these recipes, and they were going to take them away from me, and they were going to destroy them so you'd never get them. And that was their plan. Well, that didn't work. They lost their case against me and were told to leave me alone. And so they did. But then they attacked my family, and that's what they do. And they drove my daughter completely into bankruptcy, and she lost everything. She handed everything over to the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. Now they manufacture all these natural remedies, and I still don't get anything from it. So when somebody, I'm helping them for nothing, and they're asking me to pay for it too. I get that a lot. And when they do understand that I don't get anything from the sale of any products, so I can't give the product away. And when I did own it, I did give a lot away, and that's why I was always struggling financially. Because you get into something like this, and you see the misery that people go through, and you try to help them, and you wind up, you can't pay the bills, you can't pay the trash, you can't pay the phone bill, because you gave people either a discount or you just gave the product to them. And they said they'd pay you later, and they never did. But they got well. Sometimes, and sometimes not. But that's the way this goes. And so the thing about this whole getting rid of fibroid tumors is to go over to that Make Lifestyle Changes diet and learn about the acid alkaline food chart there. And all the things that it does to make lifestyle changes and increase your immune system and get on this fantastic diet and heal your digestive tract and strengthen your liver, and then go over and work on that kidney bladder on the kidney bladder report and work on the kidneys. 95% of all kinds of things goes away from doing that. And then if you got diabetes, you work on the diabetes report. And if you're in fibroid tumors, then you go to the next step. And the next step here, how we get rid of these fibroid tumors, is a suppository. And you make it yourself. You cut cotton in pieces, 2 inches by 4 inches. You lay them on top of each other. You stack them up until you have a small pile about 1 inch high. And after you got your 1 inch high pile of cotton pieces, 2 inches by 4 inches, then you tie a string around the middle of it, and you leave about 10 inches long, and you insert it up into the into the vagina. And the string is loosely hanging out. Now, Before you insert this this suppository, you get some black salve, and in this report where it says black salve, if you click on it, it takes you over to where you can see the black salve. It takes you to the manufacturer that I don't get anything from, but I created the black salve and I gave it away. And then you get some of that black salve and some vegetable glycerin, and you mix 2 teaspoons of black salve and 2 teaspoons of glycerin together in a cup or a small pan. And you can use a little more of this mixture if needed. You don't want it dripping. You just want it soaking, but you want to soak it in it, but it's not dripping. Now you soak the cotton in the mixture thoroughly, and you insert it into the vagina up to the cervix, leaving that long end of the string hanging out, and you wear a heavy cotton cloth or a sanitary napkin over the vaginal opening so that the mixture will not leak out in your bed clothing or in your bedding. And you follow this procedure 5 nights weekly. And before before bed, and you do this, and then you remove it each morning by pulling slightly on the string, and this will draw out the infection, and it will shrink the fibroid tumors and ovarian cysts and any other growths that are in the uterus. And the fibroid tumors are known to be completely disappear in 1 month. And we're talking about a fibroid tumor so large it blocked the colon and inhibited bowel movements. The person couldn't go to the bathroom anymore. And in 1 month, it was gone. Now, in the morning, and all of this is on this report. The report is on herbalhealthreview.com. herbalhealthreview.com under common conditions, and then go down to fibroids. And you're looking at this report, and it's telling you step by step what I've just explained. Now, the next thing is explaining is that is that in the morning, you douche in the morning with an infusion made from equal parts of golden seal and myrrh. You take a quart of this tea, a golden seal and myrrh, 1 quart of water, and we're talking about a teaspoon of golden seal, a teaspoon of myrrh, and 1 teaspoon of organic raw apple cider vinegar. Now, this procedure is also good for chronic vaginitis and other vaginal and uterine infections. It will get rid of them. Now you have externally, okay? So this is what you're doing. You've got the black salve and the vegetable glycerin, and then in the morning you did the golden seal and the myrrh and the raw apple cider vinegar. Then, but at night, we're back. Let's go back to when you finished inserting that suppository. Then you put a castor oil pack over the ovaries area for 4 consecutive nights. So you get a castor oil pack, and you're applying this castor oil pack. Before you do that, first you rub some poke root tincture over the ovaries. So you put maybe about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, not a teaspoon, about half a teaspoon of poke root tincture or poke root oil. And you rub that over the ovaries. Then you put this castor oil pack that you've soaked a cloth in castor oil, and you wrung it out so it's not drippy. And you're putting that over after you've rubbed in the poke root tincture. Then you put that castor oil pack over there, and you leave that there, and you tape it down. Oh, yeah, you can tape it down, and when you, just a moment, lost my earpiece here, and that's it. You tape it down, and then it's there all night long. And you going off to bed, and within a month, no more fibroid tumors. They're gone. There's other things you can do. You can go for a period of time where you could do the colloidal silver water, which is a natural antibiotic. It's the safest natural antibiotic on the planet, colloidal silver water. And it talks about it there, and the fact that you can get a generator and make your own, because that's a way to go with the colloidal silver water, because a generator will make colloidal silver water, which is worth $60 a quart, or a liter, either way, quart, liter, $60. You can make it for 20 cents. 20 cents. And if you're going to use it for any period of time, and you should have one of these little boxes anyway, because it sterilizes the water wherever you go. If you went to Mexico and they hand you Montezuma's Revenge bacteria, virus, fungus water, you say, okay, thank you. And you put it down on the counter, and you take this little box about the size of a deck of cards, and you put it down on the counter, and it comes ready to go like this. You just attach the silver rods, put it down into the glass of water. In 5 minutes, you can drink that glass of water, because there's no virus, fungus, bacteria alive in that water anymore. You could actually drink it. It'll provide submicroscopic particles of silver in 10 minutes at the rate of about 10 to 20 parts per million, which then becomes medicine water. It's a natural antibiotic which attaches itself to funguses, viruses, and bacteria and kills them on contact, disabling the oxygen in the cell. And it does nothing to the rest of the body. If you read up on colloidal silver water, it is reported to be effective against 650 different diseases, and it's totally safe for the human body. And there's a way to drink it. There's a way to take it. You would take about a quart a day if you were coming down with a flu or a virus or a bacteria, or if there was a plague going around. Everybody in your office is sick, well, except you, if you're drinking colloidal silver water. Just sipping on a quart of it, 8 ounces at a time, 4 8-ounce glasses, sipping on it every day. And if somebody comes in, into your house or your office and says, I'm sick, I'm dying, everybody's sick, then you give them a glass of this colloidal silver water, and you get them to drink a quart of it, throughout the day and through into the night. And the next day they're well. They're over it, because this stuff works fast. But it has so many different uses. It's a sanitizer. You can spray it on your counter, and it'll kill every virus, bacteria on your counter. Or if there's a burn, because the colloidal silver salve is in every burn ward in the world. That's right, because no burn infection can happen in the presence of silver. So they have a silver salve. Well, you can have your silver spray, and you spray the burn, and the pain goes away. And if the sunburn, it turns into a tan. If it's just a regular burn, it heals up, but the pain's gone. This stuff is incredible. Yeah. So anyway, that's what colloidal silver water is. And now would be a good time if you've got an infection, which is causing a fibroid tumor, maybe going through 7 to 10 days of it every single day. And whenever you're taking colloidal silver water, remember, it's killing bacteria. It's going to kill some of the good guys and all the bad guys. So let's put back acidophilus powder. Don't try to get your acidophilus from yogurt. It'll just clog up everything, and you're not going to get much acidophilus. So yogurt is a bad choice. It's a dairy. And anyway, they treat those cows mean anyway. And it's just not right. Anyway, I'd rather just get straight to what you're looking for. You're looking for the acidophilus. So you get a powder. You get the best acidophilus powder that exists. And it's called acidophilus powder from Health and Herbs. And there it is. And you keep it in the freezer. And you get about 4, 5, 6, 8 ounces. And every morning, about half a teaspoon of acidophilus powder. After you've done that for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, you can just go to a quarter of a teaspoon, because it won't take much to keep it going. And then you've got that in the freezer that lasts forever. And if you happen to need to go somewhere, this acidophilus is so special, it will survive at room temperature or even in the heat. Nothing will affect it. It's going to room temperature or normal heat. Up to 120 degrees, it's not going to affect it. Normal acidophilus, would kill it immediately. But this is a special process, and it's non-dairy process. It's a non-dairy acidophilus. Best acidophilus I ever found. Still using it 35 years later. Yeah, it's great stuff. Anyway, that's the acidophilus powder, because whenever you're using the colloidal silver water, or generator, you need to be using that acidophilus. And if there's some kind of like fibroid tumors or infections or yeast infections or anything like that going on, you definitely need some acidophilus powder. And then below that is listed the greatest multiple vitamin in the world. Yeah, I know, I said that. The greatest multiple vitamin in the world. That's Intramax. Intramax has over 415 all organic ingredients. And you take a half of an ounce in the morning and a half of an ounce in the evening, and you get all these organic ingredients. There's not a better multiple vitamin than that one, and that's the one. So Intramax, you do that. Let's really feed the body and avoid health disorders. Now there's Daily Health Tea. That's a blood cleaner. That's an anti-cancer herb from South America. That's what they use it for. Of course, if you're in America, you can't say that, but I'm not in America. I'm in Jamaica. So I can say it if I want to, I guess. Jamaicans don't care. Everything in Jamaica is anti-cancer. You got mangoes and soursop, graviola, falling off the trees here. So this is an anti-cancer place. And that's why I come here to create a clinic. And I could use a little help, because we're looking for donations to create this clinic, where we can bring people and educate them, and they can stay there, and we can feed them all these wonderful foods and teach them all these recipes and do health plans specifically, individually for each person, and watch them blossom right in front of us. Anyway, yeah, that's the dream. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for a vacation, folks. Truman doesn't do vacations. No, I don't do that. Wouldn't be such a bad idea, though. So we're talking about Intramax, and we're talking about daily health tea, and we're talking about natural sweeteners, like the ones we use for daily health tea, which is stevia leaf. If you want some sweetness, let's not use these fake sweeteners, and no fake sweeteners. Let's either use stevia leaf or xylitol. That's it. If you've got any kind of bacterial infections, yeast infections, candida, anything like that. And then it talks about the fact that you can take certain herbs like red clover blossoms. And if you click on it, it'll take you over to where you can see the red clover blossom, the herbal drops, tincture extract, compound herbal formulations, etc. It's all over there. But it talks about the value of red clover and how it cleans the blood and relaxes the muscles. And what a great one! It just goes on about it for about a foot in paragraph after paragraph. But we're going to skip that because we got to get back to everybody in the room. But I wanted you to know that this report and how detailed it is.